Hey, what's up everyone? Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. I'm back with another movie review. This time I'm going to be talking about Thor Love and Thunder, which is the latest Thor film in the Thor franchise. So before I get into my full review, if you could do me a favor, if you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Also click on that notification bell so you get notified every time a new video is posted. Okay, now on to the review. So Thor Love and Thunder is the fourth Thor film in the Thor franchise, and the second one to be directed by Taika Waititi. Now, I loved what he did with Thor Ragnarok. In fact, it's one of my favorite MCU films, and it's one of my favorite Thor movies. I loved the direction he took the Thor character, especially because he gave Chris Hemsworth a chance to really show off his comedic chops. However, Ragnarok had a really good balance between the humor and the more dramatic moments, and it never felt too silly. That's not really the case here with Thor Love and Thunder. For this movie, Taika Waititi decided to just go all in with the humor, and for me, it really didn't work. In fact, this movie is just too silly, too goofy. In many ways, this movie felt like a parody, and maybe that was the point, but it really didn't do the film any favors. One of the biggest problems is that there's so many jokes thrown around all at once. Like every scene is just full of jokes. Some people might love that, I have no problem with comedy, but to me, there were just too many jokes to really appreciate the jokes that did work, because there are quite a few jokes that don't really land. And the jokes that do land are kind of overshadowed by the ones that don't, because again, it's just back-to-back humor. Also, having an overabundance of jokes really undercuts the more serious, dramatic moments of the film. And there are quite a few of them, especially when you're talking about Jane Foster's storyline. Natalie Portman is back in the role for this movie. She's playing Jane Foster as well as the Mighty Thor. And her storyline in particular has some really serious, dramatic moments. And then some of those moments, not always, but sometimes in the movie, they're undercut by humor, which might work in certain instances, but doing that repeatedly doesn't really allow those characters to have those emotional beats. Also, you have Christian Bale playing Gorr the God Butcher, and his character also has some very, serious moments and like this really deep storyline. And sometimes that's undercut by the use of humor. Love and Thunder is also juggling way too many storylines. There's some characters that are being reintroduced in a different way. There's characters who are trying to go off on a discovery of whatever. And those different storylines don't all come together cohesively. It just felt very disjointed. And because of that, some characters get sidelined, like Valkyrie, who, Tessa Thompson does a great job, but yeah, her character just basically gets sidelined in certain moments of the film when she shouldn't have, but maybe it was because, again, there's all these other different characters that have to have certain storylines or certain moments, and other characters suffer because of it. I also want to mention the editing, because in Thor Love and Thunder, I felt like the editing was really choppy and sometimes very abrupt. It felt like there were scenes that were missing. Like there was more to show with this story that would have helped flesh out the characters a little bit more, or help flesh out the story, or even make some of those different storylines I was talking about feel a little bit more cohesive. Now, my review's not all negative. There are some fun things about Thor Love and Thunder. Like I mentioned, that the comedy is there. I just feel like there's too much of it. But the jokes that do land, they're very funny. I did laugh a number of times in this movie, so it's not like all the humor is just useless. But I felt like there was just too much of it. The acting is really good here, particularly when we're talking about Natalie Portman returning as Jane Foster and playing the Mighty Thor, as well as Christian Bale with Gorr the God Butcher. Both of them do really great jobs with those characters. I particularly liked Natalie Portman, playing that duality with Jane and the Mighty Thor. It was nice to have her back in the MCU, and of course Christian Bale is a fantastic actor, and his performance as Gorr was really, really good. Overall, Thor Love and Thunder just feels like a missed opportunity. I guess part of it was I had high expectations for it. I really liked Thor Ragnarok, and maybe I shouldn't have thought that it would be better than Thor Ragnarok. But regardless, This movie, it has some fun, entertaining moments, but ultimately it's just way too much humor, and the humor just undercuts the emotional moments of the film. The story is kind of a mess, despite some really great performances by some really great actors. And I laughed, and I had fun with the movie, but it just could have been so much better. So those are my thoughts on Thor Love and Thunder. If you've had a chance to watch the film, you can share your thoughts in the comment section below. While you're here, like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.